Some neighbors who live near famous rapper Rick Ross say they're going to go on vacation if he's allowed to hold another car and bike show on his property. This one is expected to bring more than 6,000 fans to their community.
The hip-hop world is spiraling after shocking footage allegedly showing Rick Ross and Lil Meech involved in a secret affair surfaced online, sending social media into absolute chaos. The leaked clip, which quickly spread across major platforms, appears to show the two in intimate moments during what insiders claim was a private getaway. The footage has left fans stunned and speculating about the nature of their relationship, especially amid ongoing BMF business disputes and public feuds. Adding fuel to the fire, 50 Cent wasted no time reacting to the scandal, posting a series of cryptic laughing emojis and a meme mocking both men. 50 hinted that this was only the beginning of what's really going on behind the scenes. Neither Ross nor Lil Meech has publicly addressed the footage, but insiders say both camps are in crisis mode. With the internet exploding, this leak could permanently damage reputations and alliances. Was Rick Ross really leaning in for a kiss there? Because to a lot of people watching the clip,
go over there and get Diddy a hug. Go ride the bike with him, you fat bitch. You know what time it is. It's prom time. You ain't sent a motherfucking message since December 9th, you big bag bitch.
It definitely looked that way. And that's just one piece of footage that's been lighting up the internet, showing Ross in some seriously questionable and compromising moments. Naturally, once the clip started circulating, 50 Cent wasted no time jumping into the conversation. Because if there's one thing he's always ready to do, it's clown his rivals and put their business on blast. But the spotlight isn't just on Ross this time, it's also on his increasingly close relationship with Lil Meech. And that's where things start getting real suspicious. These two have been seen together a lot lately, and the way they're moving has fans, critics, and industry insiders all raising eyebrows. Multiple videos are circulating online showing Ross and Meech in clubs, private events, and behind-the-scenes spots, looking way too comfortable for casual acquaintances. We're talking about tight conversations, handshakes that linger just a little too long, and glances that seem to say more than words ever could. And sure, Ross has been showing Meech love publicly for a while now. He even gifted him a Rolex not too long ago. That could easily be chalked up to Big Brother vibes or mentorship, but when you add that gesture to all these viral clips, the narrative starts to feel very different. And people are noticing. One video in particular set social media on fire. Ross and Meech standing extremely close in a packed club, leaning in to whisper in each other's ears like they're sharing top secret information.
It's easy to love me. Say what? Would you love me if I was? Would you still have just for me, girl? It's easy to love me.
Then there's another clip where Ross can't seem to wipe the grin off his face while Meech is talking, a look that definitely raised some eyebrows online. It's not just that they're hanging out, it's the way they're interacting that's fueling all kinds of speculation. So, is this just typical friendship behavior, or is there more to the story here? Because from the outside looking in, this connection is starting to look a lot deeper than most people expected, not even close. Because this isn't the first time Ross has found himself in questionable situations that have fans talking. People online haven't forgotten some of the more intimate and eyebrow-raising moments he's been caught in, including one clip that shows him getting way too close with a certain music mogul, all while that mogul's mom is in the background. It was a scene that had everyone talking, sparking even more speculation about what might really be going on behind the scenes. And then there's the whole slippery soap incident. Ross wasn't just promoting it, he was using it, publicly showing support by literally washing a car with the mogul and cracking jokes about how they were doing it together. At one point, the mogul even climbed onto the roof of a truck while Ross cheered him on, proudly talking about how they were making it happen. The energy in that moment was unusual, to say the least, and it definitely kept the rumor mill spinning. If you've been paying attention, then you already know that whispers about Ross' behavior have been floating through the streets for a while. Nobody's saying any of it is confirmed, but when similar stories keep surfacing again and again, people start connecting the dots, and the conversation got even louder when Ross' ex, Tia Kemp, publicly aired out claims that he used to attend some of the most infamous and controversial private gatherings hosted by industry heavyweights.
Like the slippery soap. Yo, I actually washed the car because I'm supporting my brother. I'm not just buying slippery soap. I'm actually using it myself. So, yo, just stay tuned to see Diddy and Rose wash a car. You never know
Diddy got on Carisha roof of the truck.
He made it happen. I'm proud of you. Only for slippery soap. That's right. Let's go.
Back in 2014, 50 Cent, always ready to stir the pot, posted a photo that set the internet on fire. The picture featured Ross, the mogul, and Steve Stout, and the way they were posed had people convinced there was something more happening behind the scenes. It was classic 50 trolling, but it also poured gasoline on an already burning rumor mill. Then there's the situation with comedian Corey Holcomb and the 85 South show. Holcomb claimed that Ross abruptly walked out of an interview after realizing the vibe wasn't what he expected. According to Holcomb, Ross seemed to think he was stepping into an environment that aligned more closely with certain rumors about his lifestyle, but when that energy wasn't there, he dipped out immediately. One minute he's talking, the next he's saying he needs to use the bathroom and take his jacket off, Holcomb recalled. Then he just stands up, walks off, and says, "Yeah, you can't take your foot off the gas." After some time passed, one of Ross' team members informed the crew that he had simply left, caught a flight, and vanished without so much as a goodbye. To make matters even more complicated, one alleged participant from those notorious parties has since come forward with claims that further implicate Ross in behavior many find questionable. And while none of it has been legally proven, the repeated stories, suspicious lyrics, and strange behavior have all combined to paint a picture that's difficult for the public to ignore. One alleged attendee from those controversial gatherings even went as far as name-dropping Ross directly, claiming they had personal encounters with him. A heavy accusation that instantly set social media ablaze. Whether the claims are true or not, the fact that his name was even mentioned in such a context was enough to keep the speculation alive and thriving. And the rumors don't stop there. There's also the ongoing situation surrounding Ross' massive Fayetteville mansion. Word on the street is that some of his neighbors have been complaining about mysterious late-night parties and unusual activity happening behind those gates. It's not just the secrecy that's concerning them, it's the scale. One event reportedly planned for the property was expected to draw over 6,000 people to their quiet community, leading some neighbors to say they'd rather leave town altogether than deal with the chaos. Whatever is really happening on that property, it's definitely raised a lot of eyebrows. And while Ross has consistently brushed off these stories and stayed focused on his music, branding, and business empire, it's hard to ignore the fact that similar rumors have followed him for years. The more the same type of chatter pops up, the more people start asking tough questions. And 50 Cent has been right there to amplify those suspicions every single time. Public opinion is now split right down the middle. Some people think it's all just harmless fun, two high-profile figures vibing and doing business. But others are convinced that the situation runs far deeper than anyone on the outside realizes. And 50? He's definitely not helping to calm things down. If anything, he's been feeding the fire, mocking, trolling, and throwing shade at Ross every single chance he gets. And just when it seemed like the feud couldn't possibly get any more heated, it did. In fact, just a few weeks ago, the tension between 50 Cent and Rick Ross escalated to a whole new level, pushing their rivalry beyond music and into something much bigger. This time, the long-standing feud between 50 Cent and Rick Ross pulled Big Meech and Lil Meech right into the middle of the chaos, whether they wanted it or not. Here's the situation. For years, 50 had been heavily invested in Lil Meech's rise, putting him front and center with the BMF series and shaping the foundation of his entire career. But the dynamic shifted drastically the moment Big Meech walked out of prison. Instead of standing by the man who boosted his son's career, Big Meech decided to team up with Ross, and not just for some casual collaboration. Ross is now the one producing Big Meech's highly anticipated Welcome Home concert in Miami. And if you understand the deep history between Ross and 50, you know exactly what that means. This wasn't business. This was a calculated move aimed directly at 50. And trust, he did not take it lightly. 50 responded in classic fashion by going straight for the jugular. He jumped on Instagram and posted a photo of a rat with the caption, "I think I'm Big Meech." A savage shot that clearly implied snitching allegations. But he didn't stop there. He took it a step further by suggesting that Meech had made a serious mistake cutting ties with Tammy Cowens, the woman who once managed his business affairs and kept things running smoothly. And according to whispers in the industry, 50 might not be done yet. Word is, he's sitting on some explosive information about Meech, and there's speculation that he plans to expose it all in a future documentary. That alone has fans watching closely, waiting to see how far he's willing to take this feud. Meanwhile, Lil Meech is stuck in the worst possible spot. His entire career was built on 50's support and investment, but now his father's loyalty lies with Ross, leaving him torn between family and the man who made him a star. 50 even released private DMs showing Lil Meech confused and stressed over the situation, proving just how tense things have become behind the scenes. To make matters even more complicated, 50 revealed that he was the one who helped bail Lil Meech out when he got arrested, and that he even paid to send him to rehab when his behavior spiraled out of control on set. It's a messy, high-stakes situation where loyalty, business, and decades-long beef have collided, and the fallout could shape everyone's future. Now, 50 is throwing everything back in Lil Meech's face, reminding him of every favor, every opportunity, every lifeline he ever provided. Almost like saying, "This is how you repay me?" And as for Rick Ross, he's eating up every second of the drama. Ross has been locked in this feud with 50 for well over a decade, and he's made it clear he has no interest in burying the hatchet. Their rivalry dates all the way back to 2008, when they clashed at a BET event, and that bad blood has been boiling ever since. By stepping in to support Big Meech's return, Ross has added a whole new layer to this long-standing war. But here's where things take a wild turn. The highly anticipated Welcome Home concert, which was supposed to be the event of the year, suddenly got cancelled out of nowhere. On paper, the official explanation was unforeseen circumstances. But let's be real, no one's buying that story. The streets are already buzzing, and a lot of people are pointing the finger directly at 50 Cent. Given the history, the tension, and how personal this feud has become, that theory doesn't seem too far-fetched. And it wouldn't be the first time 50 quietly orchestrated a behind-the-scenes power move. Still, he's sticking to his story, swearing up and down that he had nothing to do with the show getting shut down. He even hopped on Instagram to say, "I had nothing to do with this. Please stop calling my phone." But anyone who's followed this rivalry knows exactly how 50 operates, and his tone in that video screamed troll energy. Even if he didn't directly pull the plug, there's no doubt he's sitting back watching everything unfold with a grin on his face. And make no mistake, this isn't happening in isolation. Every move, every reaction, and every headline is part of a much bigger chess game being played between two of hip-hop's most stubborn rivals. And with Big Meech and Lil Meech caught squarely in the middle, the fallout from this power struggle is only getting messier and far more personal by the day. With the concert cancelled, alliances shifting, and tempers at an all-time high, the situation around Big Meech, Lil Meech, 50 Cent, and Rick Ross is spiraling into a new phase, one that could reshape reputations and relationships across the industry. What started as a long-standing rap rivalry has now evolved into a full-blown power struggle, and the collateral damage is getting harder to ignore. Behind the scenes, sources say the tension between father and son is growing heavier by the day. Lil Meech, stuck between loyalty to his family and the man who launched his career, is reportedly questioning his next moves. He knows 50 Cent's support was the backbone of his success, from acting lessons and legal help to industry connections. But he also understands that siding against his father could burn bridges that can never be rebuilt. It's a lose-lose situation, and the pressure is starting to show. Meanwhile, Big Meech is standing firm in his decision to roll with Rick Ross, reportedly telling close associates that he's done with fake love and wants to build his next chapter with people who believe in his vision. But that bold stance is raising eyebrows across hip-hop. Industry insiders are already whispering that Meech may have miscalculated, underestimating how much influence 50 still holds. Not just over networks and production companies, but over public opinion. And that public opinion is shifting fast. Fans who once cheered Meech's comeback are now split. Some believe he's reclaiming control of his story, while others see him as a pawn in Ross' petty game, a move that could cost him his legacy. Social media is flooded with debates, memes, and hot takes, many painting the Meech family as collateral in a much bigger feud that has nothing to do with them directly. Meanwhile, 50 isn't slowing down. Word on the street is that he's working behind the scenes on a tell-all documentary, one that would dive deep into the fallout, expose behind-the-scenes details, and possibly reveal never-before-seen footage that could flip the narrative on its head. If that project drops, it could change how fans view everyone involved, especially if the rumors about receipts on Ross and Meech turn out to be true. Ross, on the other hand, seems unfazed. Insiders claim he's doubling down, using the situation to boost his image and push new business ventures tied to Meech's name. And with whispers of a potential film collaboration and music project in the works, it's clear he's not backing away. If anything, he's tightening his grip. But the real question remains, how far will each side go? Because this isn't just about a cancelled show, a lost series, or a decades-old beef. It's about legacy, loyalty, power, and revenge. And as all three men continue to make moves, each trying to outplay the other, one thing's certain, this story is far from over. The next chapter could be the most explosive one yet. 50 Cent and Big Meech have been locked in a bitter back and forth ever since Meech walked out of prison and decided to align himself with Rick Ross. What started as subtle jabs quickly turned into all-out warfare, with 50 firing shots online, calling Meech a snitch, questioning his loyalty, and throwing heavy shade any chance he got. Ross wasted no time stepping in to back Meech publicly, hyping him up and showing full support. But then came the big blow. The highly anticipated event Ross was organizing for Meech? Gone. Still, Ross didn't let the cancellation slow him down. Instead of moping over the loss, he flipped the entire situation into a massive community celebration in Miami, proving that he wasn't about to let anyone derail his plans. It was a bold, calculated move, basically saying, "You can't stop what I've got going on." But even with that power move, 50 refused to back off. In fact, he turned up the pressure even more, by pulling up to Miami himself and putting on a performance. A classic move that reminded everyone why his nickname is the Hustler. As the saying goes, the devil works hard, but 50 Cent works harder. Now, the streets are watching closely, waiting to see where this power struggle goes next. Even other industry voices are chiming in. Young Buck publicly warned 50 to stop pushing Meech's buttons, while Boozy added his 2 cents, saying Lil Meech needed to stand stronger against the pressure. But one thing's for certain, this situation is no longer just about music. It's about dominance, loyalty, power, and who truly holds control of the streets. And when 50 feels betrayed, there's rarely any coming back from that. Microphone So, what's your take on all this chaos? Do you think Rick Ross has been hiding deeper truths? Did Big Meech make a mistake siding against 50? Drop your thoughts down in the comments. Backhand index pointing down, and while you're here, don't forget to smash that like button, hit subscribe, and turn on notifications, so you never miss the next twist in this wild saga. And make sure to check out our next video.
Out of nowhere, Rick said he had to use the bathroom to take his jacket off. He stood up and walked off saying, "Yeah, you can't take your foot off the gas." They're all, yeah. Well, after some good time had passed, one of Ross's teams informed the show that Ross had departed. He caught a flight. They were like, what the hell? So if you look at this video, it makes me crack up.
What did he do? He just ghosted.